All right. Well, welcome back to the iWealth podcast. Today, we are talking a little bit specifically to the business owners. And in particular, we're talking about Roth IRAs. I got a 6-year-old child, and, she sweeps the garage sometime. The question is how do I structure paying this little one?
Yeah.
Right? Because it's not like she's providing huge amounts of value, but yet at the same time, I don't have to sweep the garage.
Right.
So how do we do this?
Yeah. So speak with them. I primarily work with business owners, Matt.
Yep.
And business owners typically have families. It's family-owned business, those type of things. And if they have minor children, a lot of times this is missed because it's such a small thing, but it's huge to the child. And here's what I mean. So take your example. Let's say that you started to pay your child out of the business.
Okay.
And right now, the maximum that anyone can put in an IRA is $6,000. So you pay them out of the business, you pay them $6,000.
Yep.
It goes into their savings account. All right. Yep. Let's say they're 6 years old. You pay them $6,000. It's in their savings account. You turn around and the child funds a Roth IRA.
Okay.
You can put 100% of your income in a Roth. So now the money goes from business tax deduction, $6,000.
Yep.
Child going to pay taxes on it, which they're not going to pay much because it's only $6,000, different tax bracket than yours.
Yep.
Into a Roth for the child. Now the money's sitting in a Roth, okay? All the earnings is tax-free forever for that 6-year-old child. They could buy...
Doesn't take a lot of years at this, 5, 6 years old.
They could buy different stocks, mutual funds, ETFs, whatever they want. But here's the fun part for me.
Okay.
To sit down with that child and mom and dad.
Yeah.
Come to the meeting with a list. So if you're going to do this at home, come to the meeting with a list of 20 stocks that your child will know.
Yep.
Things they use every day.
Disney,
Starbucks,
Netflix,
Google, Apple, all that stuff, whatever it is. Have them sit down and pick out their favorite 6, let's say.
Yeah.
And invest $1,000 in each one of those 6 stocks. Okay. Now you're starting to teach your child about growth of money or losses if the stock isn't good. What's interesting, I remember sitting my kids down, and I remember my daughter saying, "I don't want Facebook. That's for old people." And now she's on Facebook. So, but she didn't want to own it. She should have, by the way, because it did really well. But anyway, now what's interesting is you're getting in this value conversation. We're going to talk later in a different episode about value and teaching kids about money and things. But here's what's really neat is let's say that they buy XYZ stock and it goes from $10 a share to $12 a share. And it's a Saturday afternoon and you're having a conversation with them saying, "Listen, you just made $200 last week on your stock."
Yeah.
And the fact that you did that and didn't have to work, you didn't work and you made $200 last week. That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
But if you would have spent that money and not invested it, you wouldn't make $200. And you're starting to teach them the value of saving and accumulating and compound interest and all that other kind of thing. Well, I have clients that I've worked with that now have kids that have over $100,000 in a Roth IRA.
Just crazy.
So a lot of them just miss it because it's $6,000 and it's a smaller kind of deal. They shouldn't miss it. They shouldn't dismiss it because there's a value component on teaching your kids about money. Yep. There's a tax deduction for the business, but it can compound. Now that $100,000 when that kid is 20, what's that going to look like when they're 60? All of a sudden it's $1 million with no taxes, none. So anyway, it's a really cool concept, but a lot of entrepreneurs miss it. A lot of business owners just overlook it
because it's a small thing.
It is.
And in entrepreneur world we have these big broad brush strokes of we got to do this with the business and grow and all of a sudden then your kid, we'll pay the kid a little something. Well, there's a lot more to it than that.
Right. Yeah, we're going to buy a $500,000 combine instead of have this conversation for my tax deductions, So it's really important. Your accountant has to sign off on it. Obviously, you got to justify paying your child that they're doing something with the business, but most kids do in family businesses like that. So, yeah, it's a really cool concept that more people need to take advantage of.
What I like about it is the magic part of it, right? The magic of compound interest. Mm-hmm. And so basically, if you decide to do something like this with your kid, you're just saying, I want my kid to have a little magic in their life. And what parent doesn't want that for their kid?
I love it. I love the analogy. That's cool.
All right, we'll see you back here next time.
See you, Matt.